shrewd among you might have noticed that I'm not actually playing any of the frets of this guitar. The even sharper-eyed will have noticed that it doesn't actually have any strings. That's because what this is the paper Jamz toy guitar. What you've got here is a touch-sensitive pad along with a touch-sensitive fretboard, so that when you strum here you can play along to your favourite tunes. Well, assuming that your favourite tunes include Steppenwolf's Born to be Wild and the 2 other tunes that come with the pack. So, as long as I was strumming along there, you could hear the guitar line. Now that I've stopped, all you can hear is the bass and the drums. If I start again, the guitar comes back in. In addition to that, you can put it into freestyle mode, and here it's a lot more like a normal guitar. So playing different notes on the fretboard causes different notes to come out. It's not enormously like a normal guitar, not least because it's effectively only got 1 string. As you can see, no matter where vertically I put my finger on the fretboard, the same note comes out. So to make different notes, you need to move your fingers up and down the fretboard. That's a G, that's an F sharp, that's an F, that's an E. You can make chords by playing several fingers at once. So it's not enormously realistic as guitars go, but it's a lot more realistic than the toy guitars you'll get with something like Rock Band or Guitar Hero. That's because those have maybe 4 or 5 buttons up here, so they teach you a lot about rhythm, but not a lot about fretboard fingering, whereas this guitar will teach you about rhythm and fretboard fingering and a bit about melody as well. Even more realistic is the paper Jamz drum kit. Now here, you've got a relatively accurate representation of a full rock drum kit. It is fairly robust, it's going to stand up to a reasonable amount of bashing, but you can't hit it with a real pair of drumsticks. That's partly because it uses a thing called capacitive touch technology, as you'd find on a mobile phone, and that requires something that conducts electricity, like your fingers, in order to make a noise. If you were to hit it with a pair of drumsticks, the only thing you'd hear is the sound of wood breaking the plastic shell. But both the guitar and the drums are fairly good and reasonably well priced as teaching toys, and if you're thinking of getting your child into playing a musical instrument, they're a good place to start. And if the drums and the guitar aren't quite enough, there's even an amp built out of paper and decked out to look like the real thing, and yes, the amp goes up to 11.